rise and shine. Pour yourself a cup of coffee and tune in to Good Morning Aurora. News, weather, and really cool interviews. Monday through Friday from 8 to 9 a.m.
Good morning, Aurora. Good morning, Aurora. Good morning, Aurora. We are here with Ben Weisberg and Krista from Orthodontic Experts in the house. How y'all feeling this morning?
Pretty good.
Thanks.
Good. Oh, wait. Hey, I'm with you there. Those late nights, sometimes they hit different. Sorry, I got to scratch myself up there. I was about to say, as Brad, I was feeling like, hold up, it doesn't have a mic yet today, so. Good morning, Josue Pais. He says good morning to y'all. So, tell us about Orthodontic Experts. You've been on the show. We were talking about this in the before interview. You've been on the show 7 times. Is that?
Yes.
What we're hearing? That's a big thing. I know with a lot of our interviews, I mean, we're like, oh, they're returning. Well, returning, our 7-time returning interviewee. So we have Ben, and then we have Krista from the Aurora location for Orthodontic Experts.
Yeah, so I actually work for our HR department. I'm the corporate recruiter. I live in Aurora. So
Great. Aurora's an awesome place to live in. And so tell us about Orthodontic Experts, what they do, and why they're here.
Yes, so Orthodontic Experts, we are an orthodontist. We have about 24 locations. We're located throughout the entire Chicagoland area. We have 4 in Wisconsin and also 1 in Indiana. So we're in 3 different states. We're growing, very fast. We are going to be opening 3 more in Chicago, coming hopefully, starting this summer, which is super exciting. Those are going to be our express shops. I can't tell you any more about it until you guys, get the announcement later. But it is going to be very exciting. But yeah, I mean, we're super excited to, be here in Aurora. We're very community based. We love giving back to our communities, our schools, different organizations. I mean, if you go to any surrounding area within Aurora, you will see our logo. I mean, we're sponsoring everywhere right now.
Yeah, that's amazing, and we remember there's a couple events you've done in the community. Tell us about some of the community events you've been a part of.
Yeah, so we're a part of the Aurora Hispanic Regional Chamber of Commerce. So we have great connections with a lot of business after hours. We connect with the library. With the schools, for example, we do a lot of before and after school program events. We're actually this summer for the Fox Valley Park District, we actually just donated 300 customized golf balls for a great organization for 300 kids called Golf for Kids. That's going to be this summer that we're giving out.
Oh, that's amazing. And Krista, you've been able to visit some of the community events. I know you're in HR. Is that?
Yeah, they don't let me out of the building that much.
Oh,
a lot of the times what I do is I'll partner with Ben on some of our showcases and things like that. For example, we just had one in DeKalb. So it's kind of a combination of, hey, we're hiring, but also, hey, this is what we're providing to the community, and just kind of getting to know our other community neighbors as well as the citizens and possible patients. Yeah, it's a great time just being able to give back as well as finding local talent. I know currently our Aurora clinic is hiring for an orthodontic assistant. So you do need to have some kind of background certification because you are helping out the doctors in there. Yeah. I know personally myself, I wouldn't want to jump in and try to undo brackets or redo ties without a little bit of experience in there. But we are looking for local talent to kind of join our team and build our culture as we grow. So
that's great. And talking about your organization. I mean, talking about that culture specifically. Tell us about that, because it seems like you're very community oriented, community minded. Yeah, tell us more.
Would you like to read off of your shirt our core values?
You could.
Yeah. So a few of the things that are built into our culture are transparency. Other than, the mysterious, we're opening new clinics. We'll get to that kind of thing. You got to live a little.
Yes.
But, honesty and integrity. We also believe in the trickle-down effect. So what we put into our employees, the benefits we provide, the support that we provide, we know that that's going to trickle down into our patient care. And that's really what matters. If you have a company where you enjoy coming to work, you enjoy participating in those community events, and company events and things like that, you're going to enjoy providing excellent service to our patients. Because a lot of the times, I don't know about you, anytime I go to the dentist or anything that has to do with my teeth, I'm extremely nervous. So we want people that are in the clinics that are there to kind of, I don't want to say calm you down, but reassure you that you're in a safe environment. And some of it might be tough for the kids that come in, the grown adults that come in for adjustments and things like that. But in the end of it, we're there with you. We're there with you through that journey and giving you that smile, that dream smile that you want, giving you that confidence back. And so everything we do, whether it's, events for our company to bring us together to kind of build that culture, or events in the community, that's what it's about, is just kind of providing that wonderful smile and that confidence back to our community.
I think that's a really important discussion where it's that confidence of that community. I feel like that seems to be a lot of your core values is being there for the community and inspiring that confidence, right? Some people, their smile is something that helps make them confident. So that's really great that you're there for people and you're supporting that confidence and building that. Talking about that, are there some stories of like success stories where someone came in and they didn't have as much confidence, and then they just blossomed out, like with as part of the process for braces?
Kind of hard to pick because that's almost everybody.
Yeah.
If you think
That is everybody. It's an amazing experience when for example, like me being in the clinics and I see these patients getting debonded, which means getting their braces off, and just like jumping for excitement. I mean, some patients are in tears because this is the smile that they've always wanted. And, that's what really sets us apart, is providing that patient experience. We believe in celebrating our patients and believe in educating our patients. And if we educate our patients throughout that entire journey, knowing that they're going to know what the next steps are to continue, they're going to have a successful experience and a memorable experience that they're never going to forget.
No, I think that's important that, they have that, that experience. And it's something where, go through life and you're always kind of remember stuff like that, right?
Yep.
Absolutely. And we one of the reasons why it's kind of hard to pick one out of, the thousands is because we make every debonding or when you get your braces off a celebration. So it's not one gets more of a reaction than another. Every single one of them is a celebration. We bring the entire clinic involved, and so we kind of make a show of it.
Oh, that's really amazing. I think it's great that you have that culture where it's like, you have a party kind of when you get out.
Absolutely.
that's
won't
pretty
let
awesome.
Me put like one of those glitter buttons in the clinic.
We have buzzers, though.
We've got buzzers.
Oh, you do? Oh, yeah. Okay. Well, so that's
it's literally a celebration. It's everything except, balloons and streamers and sparkles coming from the sky, because they won't buy that.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I'm sure that they're like, yeah. Well, especially at like the clinic. Yeah. Yeah, that glitter. You've been having parents be like, hey, I gotta get my kid to school, and we got this all this
They'll
glitter.
have
Like,
glitter in their
what?
car for 3 weeks, and
Oh no! I mean, well, that's the fun thing. I used to love glitter when I was a little kid. Actually,
you didn't have to clean it up.
Yeah, well, exactly. Like, I mean,
Exactly.
you could just make the whole entire mess, and while you have this big mess, you could. I mean, you didn't have to clean up like someone else would
You
do
walked
it.
away,
Yeah.
and then you came back, and the majority of it was gone.
Yeah, yeah. Well,
It
that's,
changes when you're a parent. It really does.
it really does. Well, even as a young adult too, it does change. But that's a really, I think, really important, because I feel like a lot of people think like, oh, when I have braces, it's kind of like awkward, or like, something like that. And through the process though, it's not. It's a normal part of life. You're changing your smile. You're making it the smile that you've always dreamed of, right? Like that's normal. That's important. So I love how you're doing that, and you're making it fun, because I mean, braces. I'm going in for like a tightening or anything. That can make your teeth real sore. So like, but like afterwards, like after it, that's awesome. You do like a little celebration, a little party.
Exactly, and it's for any age. I know. I mean, my own generation is now coming back, and it's like, well, my family may not have been able to afford it when I was a kid, but I've got this now. So we are welcoming of any age. And that's another thing that that I really enjoy about this company is it's a judgment-free zone. So it's never too late to get that smile that you want.
Oh, that's a good message. It's never too late. So for those who are older, do you have like older patients, or what's the age range you meet?
So we could see from kids up to age 7, as early as age 7, all the way up to adults. So I mean, kids, teens, and adults we see all the time. And the cool part is, to make it more fun, we also offer a ton of colors that the kids could choose. So that's what gets everyone really excited, because they get to pick their own colors. We do braces, the color of the month. So each month we have a different theme. We have different colors that they could earn reward points on. We have a free rewards program, that our patients, or you don't even have to be a patient to join it. You could join it just to learn more about us and still play the games, learn more about us, earn prizes, stuff like that. It's pretty cool.
That's really cool. And so what's the color of the month for this month?
So this month is orange, green, and yellow.
Okay.
But next month, that's going to be a surprise.
Oh, it's a surprise.
We haven't announced
I
it yet
see.
to all of our clinics, but we're going to be doing a lot of themes. So like there's, the new Disney movies coming up, of course, so we want to kind of do the colors of those, with the Little Mermaid possibly.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of different themes.
An announcement's going to be soon. I mean, Monday is May.
Yep.
Monday is May, so stay tuned for our viewers out there. You can stay tuned for the color announcement. Wow, that's interesting, because I know like if you go to like the doctor, for example, you'll have the flavor of the month, which actually never tastes good, but you got the color of the month. So that's gonna be even better. Like, man, I gotta talk to my orthodontist, see if we can he can hook me up. I'm like, maybe I do need some of the color of the month.
Keep it fresh.
Yeah, keep it fresh. Make you could match your fit with like the day with like your color. You could have like yellow braces and then match with whatever other outfit. That's cool.
Or as my daughter would say, it's got to match the vibe.
Yes. Our my generation. We use the word vibe. We were talking about this the other day. We have a whole entire dictionary with GMA of the lingo that we use here, right? Right. I mean, there's a whole entire list of words we've used on the show, and vibe is an important word to know. Vibe is
vibe.
It's a vibe, exactly. Like that's a thing that we use on like just my generation uses. So you gotta get used to it. So going back a little bit, where have y'all been raised, born?
Yeah, so I was actually born and raised in Hoffman Estates.
Okay.
And I reside, so I live in Schaumburg, but, I love just exploring new communities around, because there's not much you could do always in Schaumburg, right? So I just spread my wings and just, That's why, out in Aurora, there's a ton of community outreach, which I love.
Yeah. Oh, that's really great.
I was actually born and raised in central Illinois,
Okay.
a little town called Springfield. The
Oh,
capital.
yeah. I think I know about that.
Yeah, a little town. If you don't know who Abraham Lincoln is, go there. It's everywhere. We actually relocated up to Aurora about 2 years ago. So Aurora is now me and my family's home, and we don't intend on leaving. It's a wonderful community. It's extremely diverse, and the food is amazing.
The food is so good.
It's amazing. So we're really glad to call it home. It's a wonderful spot where you're central to almost everything. You're not too far away from downtown or Schaumburg to go visit. And it's just a train ride away to a lot of things with the Metro. So I love it.
That's what I love about Aurora is the transportation is actually really good. Like getting into Chicago, because we're the last stop for our on the train station. Yeah, on the
Metro.
Metro.
You don't even have to pay attention. You just they'll kick you off eventually. So you can go to sleep on the way back from the city and not have to worry about it.
So it's a great thing, I think, with with Aurora, and it is, you're right, it's central to a lot of different places. So as people, I'm sure you do a little traveling for your work. What's been your impression of Aurora, Ben?
I love it because there's so many events going on. I just found out there's a food truck festival.
Yeah.
Which we don't have that by us.
We do.
We definitely don't have that in Schaumburg.
My favorite is First Friday.
Yes.
Oh,
yeah.
First Fridays.
First Fridays.
Have y'all been out for that?
Oh yeah.
Oh,
the
yeah.
last 2 years.
Good. Yeah.
Yep.
Those are the types of events that I think are so good for the community, because I've lived here for the past 10 years, and some of the community is changed a lot, especially with First Fridays and these community events. There's been such a big change in the downtown community. Do you see yourself going to a First Fridays and having a space set up for your orthodontic experts?
I think that would be great. I know that they focus a lot of First Friday with downtown Aurora.
They do.
And our clinic is located on Kirk Drive. I've got the address right here. It's 2987 Kirk Road, Suite 103A, if you would like to stop by and visit. But I don't see why we wouldn't, maybe put up a satellite little booth. Would be fun.
Yeah, so we actually we did attend the last few First Fridays. They were very successful. I mean, it was a lot of people didn't even know that we were there, so it was great to actually tell the story of Orthodontic Experts to them, and let them know, we actually, we accept Medicaid insurance, all major insurances, and it was right down the house, down the street, so, and the thing is with Medicaid, a lot of orthodontists, it's really hard to find an orthodontist that accepts, public aid insurance. So when I was at one of the most recent events out here, there was a lot of, just community members saying that they were going to drive all the way to Chicago, to go to an office that did accept that, knowing that they have one right down the street from them.
Wow, so that I think that's really important that people know the types of insurance you do accept, because I think there's a thing about accessibility with getting braces.
Absolutely.
and medical procedures like that, which although in some cases are elective, you don't have to get braces, but I think in a lot of cases they're very important to people's overall confidence as well as their health too. It's easier to take care of your teeth when they're they're where they need to be, where they're supposed to be. Yes, exactly. Yes. So I think that's really great that you do take Medicaid, because there are a lot of people who need braces but can't afford them because they are on Medicaid or reduced income, where spending $5,000 on braces would be very cost prohibitive for them.
Absolutely. And then there are some instances where, your insurance will come back, especially with public insurance, and say, it's not necessary and decline. We have wonderful treatment coordinators that'll sit through and go through a process with you to appeal those decisions. And if not, discuss those special pricings that we offer in case for whatever reason insurance comes back and declines it. Because the reality is that they do have that choice in certain scenarios, even when you do have a doctor saying, no, this is needed. So we do make accommodations and try to assist all of our patients when it comes to that.
Yeah, and I think that's important for people to know is that you do provide a lot of support as far as, being able to find the, pay for that and get all the financial support there. So tell us about, you've done some previous, shall we say, competitions for braces. Tell us about some of those. We've heard. I know you've been on the show in the past, and I believe we interviewed some of the winners of those competitions.
Yes.
But tell us about that.
So we're going to be starting it early this year. So hopefully in September, just kind of keep a lookout. But we do a braces giveaway campaign every year. Krista joins me to actually read the essays. It puts us in tears at the end.
Yeah, he just likes to make me cry.
But
that's his favorite pastime. He's like, I'm going to make Krista cry every day.
Read this one.
But this contest means so much to us because it truly shows that we do make a difference with our the communities. Basically, they would have to write an essay just explaining, why they want, to have braces. And, these could be, potential community members that, maybe got, like Krista was saying, declined by the insurance from the state, or, they, whatever their situation is that maybe they can't afford it. But one lucky winner for each of our offices. So all 24 offices would receive, for example, like free braces.
Oh, okay. So this is not just one location.
Yeah, no, it's not like a corporate contest.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It's for all of our sister clinics, so each location. So there's a chance for 24 lives to be changed. Mm-hmm. Maybe
That's
even
amazing.
More as we grow, hopefully. Yeah. So it's wonderful.
But, keep a lookout because, like I said, we're going to be starting it early this year. We're probably going to be starting in September, October. And the lucky winners would be receiving a phone call from, our founder on Christmas Eve.
Oh, really? Okay. That's amazing. I think that's a really beautiful thing that you do. So they have about 3 months to write that essay, but then leading up to that, it's Christmas Eve is the day they find out that they're getting braces.
It really put me in tears. Like last year, I actually called all the winners, and when I called them on Christmas Eve, I mean the moms that were screaming on the phone in tears almost put me in tears because they're just like, they couldn't believe it. They could not believe it, and the winner that we brought on the show with you guys, they truly, that essay truly made a difference for us. So, it's a one full page essay, but we will be sending out the requirements and everything for it this year, but I'm super excited to bring it back.
And where can they find those requirements? Do we post that on our website?
So typically it would be on our website. It would be like social media.
Posted in the clinics.
We're going to try to, get the schools involved, this year to try to maybe see if the teachers could, talk to their students and stuff. So, and kind of make it like a little homework assignment. So that'll be kind of cool. So, but yeah, we're super excited for this.
And how many people wrote an essay last year?
So we had it was like 30 essays, I would say. So like 30 essays. But it was, we kind of just opened it up to a few locations last year. It wasn't like every single location. But this year, my goal is to do every single location, just like the years prior.
Okay, so this year is every location.
Yeah,
so.
it's a little bit different from last year because we didn't have some of our clinics open. We were still building some of our new Wisconsin clinics, so we didn't have access to all 24 locations to get that out there. So now that we just opened our 4th in Wisconsin. It's in Mount Pleasant, Wisconsin. they'll be joining those essay contests this year.
Yep.
Which
So
is
it's going to be
exciting.
super exciting.
That sounds really exciting. I think that's a great resource for people who need these, that the braces and that. Tell us about some of the essays you read. What's a common theme you hear, or some of your favorite ones you've heard?
Oh, I mean, when it comes to common theme,
Yeah.
it is a lot of, we've tried for years and fighting with, public insurance and things like that. And just, they can't afford the full out of pocket, or even, that assistance or payment plans that, clinics themselves can come up with. They can't. That's the reality. Some people have to make the choice of whether the, light bill's paid or your kid has braces. And being able to kind of read those stories and how it will truly impact them, not only their confidence, but some of them actually have, when your alignment in your mouth is off, sometimes all the alignment's off. So it gets a little difficult to eat. You have to chew on one side of your mouth. You can see a lot of deterioration of teeth and stuff if you don't take care of that. So like you were saying before, everything works better when it's in its right place, right?
Yes.
And just kind of how they can articulate how that's affecting them currently and what they hope or aspire to get out of it is amazing and heart-wrenching sometimes.
Yeah, I think it's got to be really sad. I think as a parent, from the perspective of a parent, thinking must be really sad to be able to see your kid, what their need, and not be able to meet that.
Yeah.
I just know
because you can't fix
yeah.
it as much as you want, as much as how crafty you are. You can't do home braces. I mean, my grandfather would have told you, yeah, if you need a tooth pulled, we can do that. But there's no way he's going to be able to put braces on you.
Yeah. And I think that's the thing. A lot of people, like today, it's a little different from a while ago. Like when my parents were growing up, for example, there was, it was just like you get a tooth pulled or something. You need more space, I'll just pull a tooth. Yeah. But it was, but I mean, nowadays it's a lot different in the sense that they do have a lot it's a lot more advanced. Yeah. They have the orthodontists and there's a lot of different people involved that that are very expert in their field. So I think that's really great. The time is 8:29. We're gonna go for a quick commercial break and share the news. Saturday, June 24th, this year will be from 9 a.m. to 12 p.m. You're invited to a citizen and public aid benefits workshop. This will be at Family Focus, which is 550 2nd Avenue in Aurora, Illinois. And it's a great resource for those who are looking to apply for citizenship. And there'll also be a lot of help with the fees and everything included there. So you can, if interested or for more information, you can call 630-256-7013. Again, the number to call is 630-256-7013. Or you can email cvargas@familyfocus.org. So tell us, kind of continue our conversation a little bit. How many people have you been able to help so far with your essay contests?
For the amount of years, so I've been here for about 4 years and 6 months. And from just that time, I would have to say, I mean, it's hard to count the numbers, but it was definitely a lot. It was definitely a lot within those years. I mean, they've been doing it since, they first opened the company, which I remember, which was about, 10 years ago. Mm-hmm. So in 2012. So, I mean, from my time, it was, let's say maybe about 100, maybe a couple hundred. But from, 2012, I bet you it was more. I mean, we definitely truly make a difference. And I mean, it says it, everywhere, we're just out there. We're out there in the community and we're just doing everything we can to try to, make dreams happen for people.
Yeah, and I think that's something that is so important because I feel like we all have that dream, right? The American dream, or just a dream of what we see our lives being, and especially for a lot of people, it's so hard to achieve that dream without the confidence in who they are, and part of that, and for a lot of us, is our smile, right? We want to feel confident in our smile and have that ability to not feel bad about our mouth or how it looks, or feel like we're being judged, right? So I think that's really great that you make it such a positive thing for people to have, to get braces, and yeah. So I think that's really great, and make it accessible, because I think a lot of people, that's a conversation I think needs to be had more in the public sphere, is the accessibility of a lot of things. So I think that's really great.
And one thing too, we do offer no cost consultations. That's a huge thing with us. So, if you're looking for braces and you're kind of unsure on what to do, I mean, definitely come see us. Come see us. You could talk to our amazing team members, our awesome doctor we have in our office, and they will create a perfect treatment plan for you guys.
That's great. And I think kind of going a little back, what's people's like reception to the orthodontic experts? Like when they first like hear about you or walk through the door, what's the reception been like?
They just when they first walk in, they see the excitement. They see that excitement. I mean, we have music playing in our office. I mean, I know just from experience, like my dentist, for example, it's like so silent when I walk in there. There's like no music playing, there's, not that celebration, right? Like any of that kind of stuff. It's like very old school, right? So like when you walk,
feel like they're going to come out and pull a tooth at any time.
So like when you walk into Orthodontic Experts, it's like total opposite from that. It's, you get greeted by our amazing team members, from, the front desk all the way till the back. I mean, that's where all that education comes in. Like we love to educate, and we love to have fun. I mean, we're huge on social media. So we have like a TikTok, we have an Instagram, we have a Twitter, we have a Facebook. Of course, we have LinkedIn, but like, I mean, we're big on TikTok. And if you're not, someone who doesn't like TikTok, be prepared, because when you come into our office, we want you to join us, for those, any of the dances. So, but that's one thing with our rewards program is, we offer these, these fun points, right? So like we give our patients t-shirts, if they wear their t-shirts to their appointments, they earn those points. If they come in for their appointment, they earn points. Braces Color of the Month that I was talking about earlier, they get points with that. They follow us on social and, truly interact with our team members, our office, come visit us in the community, at any of the events. I mean, they earn these rewards. Like we love to reward our patients.
That's cool. And what are some of the rewards they get?
Yeah, so it's a program called Patient Rewards Hub. It's a free program, like I said. You don't have to like pay to join it or anything. It comes with you as being a patient, but then also you don't have to be a patient to actually join it, because you could still learn more about us by joining from our website. But we do, it's an app you download just on your phone, Android, iPhone. And you could play games, contests, surveys, engage on social media. You could refer your friends, all that kind of stuff. And, you earn points, but every 100 points, you get a $10 gift card.
Oh, you do? Nice.
Yep. So we love to reward based on their accomplishments.
That's really cool. And going back to the original question for you, Krista, was your experience like first coming in and seeing the space, being like, wow, like this is...
Well, I can tell you every time I go into one of our clinics, whatever location it is, there's always some kind of new feature that I want to take home with me, whether it's the mirrors that have backlighting or, the sinks and stuff like that. We try to stay very modern and up to date, not only, you know, in our facilities, but our technology, our securities and things like that. We are in the medical field. So we want to make sure that not only do they feel comfortable with us, but they feel comfortable providing their information to us as well nowadays. So just that feeling of you come in and you're welcomed, and you can really feel like it's a place where you can let down your hair and feel that we've got your back, you know, through your treatment and things like that. And especially continued treatment. Because this isn't like coming in and getting a filling, right? Where you get the filling, you leave, you don't come back to the dentist until another 10 years when something's, you know, you go in on a scheduled basis to maintain and do those adjustments that you were talking about earlier, you know, and sometimes that can be frustrating, right? You will have a little bit of discomfort and things like that as things are moving around in your mouth. So having that team that kind of supports you and motivates you and, reminds you, hey, come back, you got 3 more adjustments, and then we're going to get to see that smile, you know, and kind of encourage you. That's been my experience with everything. And then seeing everybody, when I go to job fairs and those community events and things like that, having people come up to our booth who, you know, don't need a job, but want to say, hey, you know, I just finished treatment with you guys over here, or my daughter's in treatment and she loves it.
Oh, that's awesome.
And just kind of coming up and saying, hey, and thank you and things like that. It's amazing, and it really just, it touches my heart.
I think that's something that a lot of people don't realize is the culture of a place is almost as important as the quality of the treatment, right? Like
100%, even it may be even more so.
Oh yeah, because a lot of it is like a lot of people are uncomfortable going to the dentist, orthodontist, but then like as when you have braces, if you're one of those people like me where you get uncomfortable going to the dentist, doctor, orthodontist, those people, then going regularly, you know, every 10 weeks, that's anxiety build. You're like, whoa, I gotta go back to this. Yeah, I gotta go back to this place. But then I think for me though, I was blessed to have a really good orthodontist, so they're fun. We're chatting about whatever. So,
but do you get rewards, Hub?
And no, I actually don't. I'm telling you, my orthodontist
transfer to us.
I know, right? They don't give me rewards for like taking my scan on time or like none of. Oh, okay.
Yeah. You could wear one of our T-shirts and you get points for that.
Really?
Yeah, we give you free T-shirts too. Just saying.
See this.
And you get you get a lot of nice swag. So we give a lot of, you get a backpack, you get all that stuff, water bottle, everything.
Well, see that. Oh, okay. I'm gonna have to transfer over or something. Because I didn't get any of that swag. They give me like an oversized T-shirt. I'm a short dude. Like anyone who knows me knows I'm really short. So they give me like a size extra large T-shirt. On me, that ain't gonna work. So that was the swag I got. No, that's good though. I think it's it's all about these important conversations where, you have that, you're very intentional about what you do and kind of where you're going. But tell us about the future of Orthodontic Experts. Where do you both see it in the next 5 years?
Well, that's a tough one. So I definitely see us still growing.
Absolutely.
I mean, I'll be honest, I see us continue growing and improving, the technology, in the orthodontic field. We love to attend conferences, for example, to, learn what is next, what is going to happen next in this industry. And
continued education is a big thing with us, all the way from the clinics all the way up to upper management. So we try to make sure that we're staying up to date on things that are in the field, treatments, technologies, securities, everything like that. I'm hoping that we grow a little more into a warmer climate, so HR can go visit those clinics.
Yeah,
she wants to go to Florida.
Things like that.
Yeah, because you have locations
Hawaii,
in Illinois,
Wisconsin, and Indiana.
Okay. So that's some colder states. Yeah, I mean the Midwest is just cold. Let's be honest. We get warm in the summer, but we're cold.
Yeah,
the other half of the year.
And you can't. the weather makes it sure that you can't get used to it either. Because as soon as you think that you're like, yeah, we got this, it's 30 degrees, then it's 80 degrees, and then 3 days later it's snowing.
Yeah,
Keeps
that's
you on your toes.
Aurora. That's Aurora. So do you see the orthodontic experts expanding to other states and outside of the
I would
three
say in
currently?
5 years,
Yep.
possibly.
Yeah, that's great. And I believe you're talking about expanding and moving forward. You're hiring, right?
Yeah. So we do have 24 different locations. So if you go to our website, orthodonticexperts.com, we do have a career page. It is live. So as we have positions open up, whether it's due to a new clinic opening, we do a lot of training and development and promotion from within. So as we have to backfill those positions, we will post them within 24 hours. So that careers page is live. We currently are looking for experienced orthodontic assistants for our Aurora and Joliet clinics. So there's information on there for that. For our full-time employees, we do offer benefits. So health, dental, vision, PTO, holiday pay. We also have perks and benefits that after you're with us for a year kick in. One of my favorites that we provide to actually our team members is after you're with us for a year and you're in good standing, attendance, performance, we actually provide free metal braces treatment to our employees or discounted clear aligners or ceramic braces. And that's also for their dependents as well. So if you're employed with us, I want to kind of go back to what I was saying before. We really do believe in that trickle-down effect. We are all about integrity and patient care, and they're number one. But how do you get that? You invest in your employees. You provide them a culture and an environment that they want to belong to. And the fact that we can provide free metal braces for our employees and their dependents, so those children that otherwise may not have gotten that, is amazing. And I love. So if you're interested in a career with the best, the experts, definitely visit us. Again, our website is orthodonticexperts.com. It's extremely easy to navigate. There's a little button that says careers, and it'll pop up all of our openings, not just in Aurora. You can filter that out and look through all of our 24 locations.
Wow, I think that's really important for people to know. Like, you not only take care of your customers, but there's also the employees that are taken care of, which I think is really important, because I know a lot of companies, although they may take really good care of their customers, because they're the ones paying them, their employees kind of fall to the wayside a little bit in the sense that they don't receive all the time and attention that the customers do. So I think that's really important that you are taking that step where you are helping your employees. So tell us, have you had dance offs at your locations?
Not dance offs.
Oh,
not
okay.
yet.
Oh, not yet.
Maybe Krista will join us.
Oh, I am not coordinated for that. And if
But
my daughter saw me dancing on TikTok with her friends at school here in Aurora, and she didn't like me dropping her off to school today in the Toothmobile. So
that's we noticed the rap. You get weird looks when you go out, in the community when you're driving those cars.
not so much weird looks as people staring, because we do have information on there, our numbers on there. They're kind of looking and seeing. But then we also have the wraps on it. So sometimes we can't remember that if you're sitting in the back seat of one of our company cars, they can't see you, but you can see them. And I've had a couple coworkers are like, what is that person staring at? I'm like, probably the face that's on the window. That is the giant smile that says brace yourself. That's on the other side of your window. So it's pretty funny. Nothing too crazy, but it's noticeable when you have a giant face that says brace yourself.
And it's fun to drive them around.
Yeah.
Because then when you go to a clinic and you're like, hey, how'd you hear about us? And they'll be like, oh, I saw your car driving around. Yeah. So that's awesome. It's great awareness. But I always forget that on my car, I have QR codes.
Oh.
I was like, start scanning stuff.
Have you like walked up on something like you want to get groceries or something, then you walk back and like there's all these people around your car. You had that happen where they're like scanning the windows?
No, it was actually at a stoplight.
Tell us about it. So somebody like they went out of their car. They're like, oh, I'm gonna scan.
Yeah, so this actually happened the other day. So when I was driving to the conference, so this I was in the city, and of course, we have locations out in like Bucktown, Pilsen, Avondale, Burbank, that area. So when I was driving towards the city, I was at a stoplight, and someone pulled out their phone, and I thought they were just taking a picture of the car, or something, and they went like this with their with their hands, like roll down your window, and then they'll be like, so I was like, oh hi, and then they'll be like, where are you located? And I was like, oh, just scan the QR code. So I pulled my car up a little farther, and then they scanned it
up a little bit.
I think that's so amazing. I mean, so there is some power to marketing on your car. Get a car wrap. That's what you got to do.
I think it's awesome. I think it's great because I haven't actually seen another orthodontist, to be honest with you, that actually has as many cars as we have that's wrapped.
I was about to say, I think you're the only orthodontist I'm aware of that has their cars get wrapped.
See, and that's why you got to switch over to us, because wouldn't it be so much easier to refer your friends when you're like, oh yeah, it's the one with the car? Like,
yeah, right. It's just instead of like orthodontic experts, it's just like the ones with the car, like, and everyone immediately knows what you're talking about. Yeah. That's fun that you put the QR codes, and is that something? Who's in charge of that? Who does the wraps?
So, well, I'm not in charge of it anymore, but I helped design the one that actually I'm driving right now. A few years back, back in 2021, we actually started putting the QR codes on the back of them. But I think we're redesigning. I think they're in the talks of actually wanting to rewrap all of them.
Oh yeah, so. Okay. I think that's a really unique thing. I feel like it shows a lot about where Orthodontic Experts is as a company as far as their development and their processes. Because I think a lot of people, at a certain point, they just say, this is how it's done, so we'll do it that way. But it seems like a lot of what you do is very innovative and kind of thought-provoking. It's like, I'll be honest, if I saw a car, with all these wraps at the stoplight, I'd be like, hold on, we gotta check this out, like.
You put a QR code on anything, and it's gonna pique interest.
Yep.
Oh, it is, because that's something like my generation, that's what we talk. We talk in QR codes. Like, that's what we use. If you want us to fill out a form, you want us to get a link, you can't put the link there, you gotta put in a QR code.
Same with restaurants. You go to a restaurant, scan to see the menu now.
Yeah. So I think that's something where it shows that you're not too old to learn something new, right? You're there to innovate and change things. And I feel like orthodontics, like as an industry, it's been around for a long time, and they haven't really. I feel like it's always been that like same old.
Yeah, what you would consider quote unquote like, brace face. But now we've got clear aligners. We have ceramic braces. We've got the braces that are a little bit, more no-show kind of thing. So whatever you're looking for, there's accommodations now. Which is great.
Yeah. No, I think that's it's really a great thing with having all of those available. Tell us where do you see that yourselves being in the next couple of years? Are you staying with Orthodontic Experts?
100%.
We're growing so fast that we're developing new departments and things like that. Speaking about like that, the innovation and growing, when it comes to marketing is so vast, right?
Oh yeah.
We actually have broken our marketing team into 3 like sub departments. So Ben's department, patient experience, just focuses on the marketing that's going to provide our patients with the best experience possible every time you come in here. And from that marketing aspect, reaching out into the community, but also our clinics. So our employees that work in the clinics, he goes in and he trains them on how to celebrate our patients, when it's appropriate to push that buzzer. And then we do also have dental relations. So we have a whole team that works with dental clinics around the area. So we can refer you to top providing dental services. So if you do have to have a tooth pulled, or a filling or a crown or something before you get treatment, we can refer you out to multiple different locations and areas. And then we have our digital marketing team that does a great job on posting all of those TikTok videos that Ben and our clinic are in. So we really focus on what the best aspects of marketing can bring to our company. So
that's great. And Ben, what are some of those trainings? What do those look like when you go to the employees and you train them? Is it like kind of like a party thing? You have like a pizza party or something? Tell us about those trainings.
Yes. So my trainings, when they actually see me coming into the clinic scheduled to do a training, they know it's going to be like role playing, fun, interactive. I personally do not believe in just sitting there staring at a slideshow. We have to have role playing in this stuff. We have to make it fun, engaging, and a way that, they're going to have to take that knowledge, and that it basically to, provide that patient experience, for those patients. I train on a lot of new stuff, for them. So like, for example, our rewards program, we totally vamped up the program. We created a ton of QR codes, for the program. So it's, they scan all of the QR codes, our patients, and basically the patients take control over it now, which is kind of cool. So it's going to bring, our team members closer, to the patients where, they could really, talk to them and, see how their experience is going, taking all that manual stuff off of them, and that's a lot of what my trainings are is what can we do to automate to get you guys closer to our patients? Where, and that's what a lot of team members keep asking me is like, hey, Ben, can we automate this? Can we do this? Because, manual work is so old school now. Everything is automation now. It's all automation.
Exactly. And I think that's the idea, like as a business, the most effective way is to automate all the tasks that don't really need a human touch. And then to give as much time as possible to the things that are important, which are the customers and the employees.
To that experience that they're bringing, rather than we need you to fill out this form.
I feel like that's the cliche. Here you're at the doctor's, like the doctor's office. They give you, and you come in every single time. They give you like 15 forms to fill. They're like, hey, we need your medical, proof of insurance. We need and you're like, oh, I gave this to you
3 months ago. It's only been 3 months.
And the funny thing is, it's not always digital.
No.
Yes. They
I'm
always
so over the paper right now.
I don't think I've had it where it's been digital. I just get a clipboard with like a paper bound book of all the information that they already have in their system. It's crazy.
Yeah. So do you? When someone comes into the office to, start your initial process, you give them
a paper bound book?
Do you? No, I was about to ask, is that something you do, or you have like the tablet with the iPad? You go sign in and all that.
The cool thing with our PSRs, our new name, what we call our front desk, which is patient service representatives. They actually, a few days prior, they'll actually send a text message to those patients with the forms. So then they fill it out prior to them actually coming into their appointment. And then it's an easy check-in, and we could talk about the rewards program. We could give them, a big sneak peek of what they're going to experience, in our office. And I think, which, is great. It gives us, some time to do those fun TikToks, with our team members. So,
and the patients. Time to learn about the patient himself. Absolutely. Rather than just what's on paper. You can connect with them. You can greet them. How's your day going? did you get to go to the food truck fair the other day kind of thing, and like actually connect with them, because you have to see them for 15, 24 months, depending on how long your treatment is.
Yeah.
So, why wait to make that connection until after you decide if you want to do treatment with us? It doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, I think that's something where, like, a lot of people are just like, oh, I'm here for a job, and then I'm like, it doesn't matter me talking with the patient. I'll just get my job done, and then kind of get them on their way. But it seems like it's a lot better of an environment where it's like you work in that personal relationship with, your clients, the people who are coming through, which I think is a really important thing, especially because a lot of people can get really nervous going to the orthodontist. And I mean, it's also a process that for a lot of people it can be really uncomfortable. Like when you first get the initial week of having braces is always the worst week ever. It's I think
we don't like to talk about that.
Yeah. We don't talk about that. Yeah. Because
that's Bruno.
Yeah. We don't talk about Bruno. We don't talk about the first week. It's always
no. Full transparency. It can be difficult.
It is.
Any kind of treatment that you're doing where you're making large moves like that. The first part of it can be uncomfortable, but that's
I think
why
it's
we're
the
here.
best, to be honest, Krista, because you get to. I always tell
it's working.
No, I always tell the patients because they're like, "What am I supposed to eat? What am I supposed to do?" And I'm like, you know what? This is probably the best part, the best start of it, because you get to tell your mom, "Hey, can I have a smoothie? Can I have ice cream? Can I have a milkshake? Can I have all?" Because it's all the dessert first before the actual meal. Now,
True.
See, that's smart thinking.
Soothes the pain. Yep.
Yeah, that's a good part of it. So, a last question before we wrap up today. What's your advice to our viewers, or just motivation for them?
I would have to say, just keep making a difference, because the more that you're going to make a difference, the more that you're going to make that huge impact on your own communities. And I truly believe that because, I see it every day. I do a lot of volunteer work as well, just myself. And, you see that huge impact that you would be putting on. So that's my advice.
Thanks.
Mine, I'm going to go back to mine. It's never too late. Whether it's braces, whether it's going back to school, getting that degree, just always remember there's always time. It's never too late to get what you want out of life, as long as you kind of put in that effort. If you're in your mid to late 30s like I am and needing treatment, come see us. It's a no judgment zone. It's never too late to do anything.
Yeah, I think those are both very important messages. Like there's always opportunity and time to get what you need. Well, thank you again for coming on. And where can people find you? I
would say visit our website, orthodonticexperts.com. That's going to list out all of our 24 locations, their exact addresses. You can also see if we're hiring there and get information about our patient hub and all those fun rewards and kind of how that works out. If I could put up a QR code that you could scan through the podcast, I would, but we can't. But definitely orthodonticexperts.com.
And you could also give us a call at 331-310-1064. We're just right across the street from the Walmart, next door to the Sports Clips and the Domino's, in the same complex as Panera Bread.
Oh, that's okay. You know what? Talking about
just some Panera soup and braces.
Oh, yep. That's good. And talking about that, I do remember that where that is at, because like when people say the address, no one knows where it's at. When you say you talk about the Panera, I know exactly where Panera is. I'm like, yeah, I know what you're talking about.
The new Taco Bell is.
Yeah, I'm like, oh, I know where that's at. All right, the time is 9:00, so thank you so much for coming here and speaking. And again, people know where to find you, and we can share your flyers and stuff with people. So stay tuned for another great interview on Monday, 8 to 9 a.m. And we will have a great...
Be on that one, Ben. Make it number 8.
Yeah, you're right. Just have a great and motivated start to your weekend.